Two of Cups card is the minor arcana version of the Lover's card. You might be surprised to learn that the image is based on a play that you are likely very familiar with. Stay tuned and learn how to deal with this lovely card when it shows up in a reading, and a bit of history about the card. Hi everybody, I'm Sue Ellen Clayton. Welcome to my channel where we'll be learning the tarot deck one card at a time. Today's video is about the Two of Cups. This video will begin with a short description of the card. Next, I'll briefly explain what this card means when it appears in a reading. Then we'll talk about what each element symbolizes and what the card means when it shows up in both the upright and reversed position in a reading. I'll share some examples from my life so you can relate to the card in a real-world situation. And stay tuned until the end and I'll give you several questions to help you connect with the card. I will be using the Rider-Waite Tarot in this video. You'll find the link to the deck below, as well as to the many books that I've used in my research. So let's get started. In the Two of Cups, we see two people facing each other. Both of them have dark hair. The woman on our left is wearing a blue tunic over a white dress, a black belt, and red shoes. She has a laurel wreath on her head. She is holding a cup with both hands and peering into it. The man on her right is wearing a yellow tunic that has red and black flowers over a white shirt. He has on yellow tights and brown boots. He has a wreath made of red roses on his head. He is holding his cup in his left hand and gently touching her cup with his right hand. The cups are both gold and there are 5 bells on each cup. Above them we see a red winged lion head. Between the lion head and the couple we see the caduceus, which is the staff with 2 snakes coiled around it. The couple are standing on level ground that looks like a stage. In the background we see hills and trees. On the top of the hill we see a house. The sky is blue and cloudless. When this card appears in a reading, it means that you are engaged in an equal partnership that is characterized by mutual trust and respect. Although we think of this as a romantic partnership with sexual attraction, the Two of Cups can also represent a friendship, platonic relationship, or business partnership. This is the honeymoon stage of a relationship where you feel that everything is going in a positive direction and you are working together towards similar goals. This card can also represent forgiving someone and healing a fractured relationship. Let's talk about the symbolism in this card. It is generally seen as a less intense version of the Lover's card, which is number 6 in the major arcana. Take a look at the cards side by side and you can see the resemblance. We see two people facing each other. The woman on our left is wearing a blue tunic over a white dress, a black belt, and red shoes. She is dressed very similarly to the High Priestess, which is number 2 in the major arcana, and all about going inward and relying on your intuition. The white robe next to her body represents purity. The blue robe represents intuition. Her black belt represents strength and wanting the relationship to progress. The red shoes indicate passion and further suggest that she wants the relationship to progress. She has a laurel wreath on her head which represents victory, so it appears like she will get the relationship she wants. The cups are yellow, which is a sign of optimism. Note that she is looking into the cup, which represents emotions, rather than peering at the man. She is also holding the cup in both hands, which means that she has strong feelings about what she wants. The man on our right is wearing a yellow tunic that has red and black flowers over a white shirt. Like the yellow cup, the yellow tunic shows optimism. The flowers on his tunic represent love. The black flowers represent stability and the red flowers represent passion. He has a red belt that shows passion and his desire for the romantic journey to progress. His yellow tights show that he is optimistic, and his brown shoes show that he is grounded. He has a wreath made of red roses on his head, which represents love and passion. On the screen, you can see that the man in this card is dressed similarly to the Fool, which is card number 0 in the Major Arcana. Both men are wearing a brightly colored tunic that shows optimism. Both are wearing white shirts that show the purity of their intentions. The Fool is wearing yellow boots, which show self-confidence, while the man in the Two of Cups is wearing brown boots that show he is more grounded. His brightly colored tunic can also mean that the man wants to be noticed by the woman. They have 2 large cups between them. Cups can represent a womb, as opposed to wands, which represents a phallic symbol. So the fact that he is gently touching her cup can be interpreted as a sexual gesture. Once again, the eagle-eyed Pam Richards, author of the wonderful book Understanding Tarot, which I've used heavily in my research, has pointed out something that I did not notice, and that is that each of the cups have 5 decorative bells. If you watched my video on the Ace of Cups, you may recall that the Bible considers bells to be a symbol of holiness. The Bible talks about bells on the hem of a high priest called Aaron. The bells were a sound that was pleasing to God and also told people whether Aaron was in or out of the temple. If you add the 5 bells on each cup together, you get 10 bells, which represents completion of the journey in this wonderful card, the 10 of Cups. Both of the people have dark hair. This signifies that they are not naive and have some life experience. Between the lion head and the couple, we see the caduceus, which is the staff with 2 snakes coiled around it and wings at the top. This is the staff carried by Hermes in Greek mythology and the god known as Mercury in Roman mythology. It was given to Hermes by the god Apollo in exchange for the lyre that Hermes invented. The caduceus is similar to the staff of Asclepius, which only had 1 snake. The son of Apollo and the human princess Coronis, Asclepius is the Greek demigod of medicine. According to mythology, he was able to restore the health of the sick and bring the dead back to life. According to Wikipedia, the caduceus is also a symbol of commerce and negotiation, 2 realms in which exchange balanced by reciprocity is recognized as ideal. It was supposed to transform anything it touched into gold, so that might be another explanation for the color of the cups. Above the couple, we see a lion head. Some people believe it is a monster from Greek mythology called a chimera, and you can see an image on the screen. This is from a carving that was done somewhere between 850 to 750 BC and resides in the Museum of Anatolian Civilizations in Turkey. I've attached a link in the comments. Chimera's big weapon was that she could breathe fire. She was pretty much invincible as she had a lion's strength, a goat's cunning, and a snake's venom. So perhaps she is protecting the couple's love with her many monster talents. Pam Richards has another description of the lion's significance in her book Understanding Tarot. She says, and I quote, "The lion's head represents both physical and sexual energy. Placed between the wings of the caduceus, the lion seems angelic, which indicates that sexual energy has been transcended by the spiritual, showing us genuine affection and love. Lions also represent danger, and maybe there is an element of risk here, as the lion gazes sternly at us. The lion above the heads of the 2 people show that lust or desire has risen above its base level to transcend into something deeper, showing us a spiritual or emotional connection." Unquote. The couple is standing on level ground that looks like a stage. This could just indicate that they are on solid ground. However, according to Marcus Katz and Tally Goodwin, in their book called Secrets of the Waite-Smith Tarot, this image is from Romeo and Juliet. In Act 1, Scene 4, when Mercutio says, quote, "You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them as a common bound." Unquote. In the background, we see hills and trees. On the top of the hill, we see a house. Houses represent security and success. So once again, it looks like this couple is building a bright future. The blue, cloudless sky is another symbol of optimism in this card. When the Two of Cups appears in an upright position, it could symbolize that you are in a loving, caring, respectful relationship that may or may not be sexual. Although we think of this as a romantic partnership with sexual attraction, the Two of Cups can represent a friendship, platonic relationship, or business partnership. It could represent a new relationship with a strong emotional connection, or that you are moving ahead in an existing relationship. In a romantic partnership, the Two of Cups can symbolize an engagement or marriage. In a friendship or business partnership, it can mean connecting more deeply and moving to the next level. This is a card about equality and collaboration. You are cooperating towards a common goal. Both of you are contributing equally to the relationship. This card can signal the honeymoon stage of a relationship when you feel that everything is going in a positive direction and you are working towards similar goals. Finally, the Two of Cups can represent forgiving someone and reconciling following difficulties in the relationship. Here's an example from my life, and it is about an instant connection with a woman who has been my best friend for more than 20 years. I was at a difficult point in my life when I needed to homeschool my son as he had some serious medical problems. This was not something that I ever intended to do, but I was determined to make it happen for the sake of my kids. At that point, I saw that there was a program at our local library about how to start homeschooling, and the woman who became my friend was a speaker. We had an immediate connection. Her kids were the same age as mine. At that point, we were both living in Phoenix, Arizona, and we discovered that we both lived in Toronto, Canada at the same time, and actually lived within a mile of each other, a big deal in a city with millions of people. We became instant friends. And despite several moves in both of our lives, we have kept in very close touch and still have long phone conversations a couple of times a month. Our relationship has grown and changed over the years as our children have moved on and we both re-entered the workforce. We definitely have a friendship that is worthy of the Two of Cups. When the Two of Cups appears in a reversed position, you can see that the contents in the full cups will spill out, leaving the cups empty of emotion. This could mean that you are seeking a romantic partner but are not finding anyone, or you have found a partner you love but they don't feel the same way about you. It could mean that you are feeling lonely and disconnected. This might be because you have difficulty making friends. The reversed Two of Cups could mean that you are in an unequal relationship. You are doing all the work, someone is taking advantage of you, or you are the slacker and making someone else do everything. It could signify that your romantic relationship is not going well. You could be having temporary, fixable problems, or the relationship might be over. This might be due to lack of sexual chemistry, arguing, not taking time for each other, or a host of other issues. Finally, it can show emotional problems in a friendship or business partnership that could lead to you breaking up. Here's an example from my life of the reverse Two of Cups, and it's about an unfair partnership. Almost 40 years ago, I worked for a small business that was founded by the father. His son and son-in-law were both employed in the business. The office was dysfunctional for many reasons, including the fact that the father, who was married to the mother and mother-in-law of the employees, was involved in a long-term affair with the office manager. The son was very ambitious and hardworking. He worked long hours and very, very hard. I think he did about 99% of the work. The son-in-law, on the other hand, was incredibly lazy. His idea of work was to go out for lunch with people in the industry, or at least that's what he claimed, and talk on the phone about sports. He could talk a good game, but from what I could see, he did almost nothing and was a complete drain on the business. However, since the purpose of the business was to finance the owner's daughter's luxurious lifestyles, both the son and son-in-law were compensated equally. Let's just say that the son, who believed he was the rightful heir to the business, was extremely angry about the unfairness of the situation, and I didn't blame him. I moved on from that position and never found out what happened to the boys. However, it is a good example about unfair partnerships represented by the Two of Cups in a reversed position. Here are some questions to help you connect with the Two of Cups. Number 1, are the relationships in your life relatively equal, or do you do more or less than your share of the work? Number 2, have you created goals with your romantic or business partners? Are you both moving in the same direction? Number 3, is it time to take your relationships to the next level? How can you do that? Number 4, are there relationships in your life that you need to repair? For instance, is it time to suck it up and apologize? And finally, number 5, is it time to sever a relationship that you can't repair? So I hope that this video has given you a good look into the Two of Cups. Please join me for the next video, which is the Three of Cups.